Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, c'est Jackie, for another video. Today, I'm doing a solo review of um, a show that I watched by myself um, called The Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2. Okay, are you ready for it? Let's get into it. Alrighty, so let's talk about The Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2. Um, Overall, I actually watched the first season, season one, when it came out. I don't remember how many years ago, and season two. And I've got to say, season two was definitely better than season one. I think season one had a lot of drama. If you're into drama, then you'll definitely enjoy season one. There's some drama here in season two too, but there was also a lot more wholesome, like couples and situations. And so there, for those of you who don't know the premise, it's couples go in, one person in the couple wants to get married and the other doesn't. Um, and so the person who wants to get married issues an ultimatum and says, like, if at the end of this experiment you don't want to get married, we'll be separated. And so they break up during the experiment. And for 3 weeks, they do a trial marriage with another person from another couple. Let's see. And then for 3 weeks, they do a trial marriage with their original partner. And then by the end of that, they get to choose whether they want to get engaged, whether they want to stay together, or whether they want to separate, or choose another person within this experiment to partner with. Now, I think that the show, the premise, I personally, it's funny, by the end of this, they were like, most people were like, yeah, I think ultimatums are good and like, um, yeah, they can make people reach the right conclusion or whatever. I personally don't like ultimatums and I don't think that they're good. I think conversations are better and um, I would say rather a negotiation rather than an ultimatum. If you reach a conclusion that like you're ready for this stage of your life and your partner's not there, and will never be there, then I think it's better and healthier to decide to like part ways. But I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. So for this season, there were six couples that came in, and one couple was AJ and Brittany. The other was Haley and Pilar. Uh, the other couple, Kyle and Bridget. And then there was Mel and Marie, um, Dana and Megan. They called her Megan, but I was like, is that the way she like her name is actually pronounced? I don't know. And then last but not least, Ashley and Marita. And most of these people, these women were young. Like, I think there wasn't one person above the age of 30, which was very surprising to me because some of them definitely looked older than 30, in my opinion. But anyway, that's besides the point. Um, and it was interesting. I think from the beginning, I was like, okay, okay, all these couples seem to be like really tight with each other and loving, except for Marita and Ashley. Marita um, and Ashley felt kind of like, hmm, maybe this is not the best match. But everybody else, at the beginning, I was like, okay, hmm, I don't know. I don't think maybe they won't get broken up. Maybe they'll stay together and decide to leave together. Um, One controversy, like in the first couple of episodes, was about AJ, who is Brittany's partner. And because AJ was forming connections, once they broke up, you first start dating everybody else, right? To figure out who you would like to partner up with for this trial marriage, this first trial marriage. And AJ got game. AJ knows how to connect with people because several people were into AJ, um, and were connecting hardcore. Uh, One of those people was Bridget. Bridget had a strong connection with AJ. So did Marie, and so did Marita. And there was also like I think Dana at some point too was vibing with AJ. And so AJ had options. Um, and people, well, especially Bridget, became really hurt when she started hearing that AJ was connecting deeply with some other people because she thought that their connection was um, the deepest and was probably the best, and she didn't think that AJ was connecting as deeply with other people, and so was very upset to hear about that and called AJ out when they had to make their choices for their first coupling. Uh, I know there was a lot of talk about that. I personally felt like, yeah, it was a little, excuse me, much in my opinion, just because um I don't think there's any problem with like connecting with several people deeply, but it felt a little bit like manipul excuse me. Oh my goodness. Manipulative? I don't know. Um, I thought it was a lot. I think it was a little bit too much, and it felt like, are you actually vibing with all of these people, or do you want everybody to just like fall in love with you and your character? Like, what is it? It felt very like a, I don't know, like a toxic pretty boy a little bit. And so I personally was a little uncomfortable. Um, like not uncomfortable, but just like I just didn't know and I didn't feel like it was totally genuine. And then when the choice came and AJ went with the person like that I didn't think she would want to choose because it felt like she had really strong, especially physical chemistry with Marita and with Bridget. And Bridget, of course, called her out, so Bridget was not going to be an option. But Marita was feeling strong feelings with AJ, and I felt like some things are going to happen between them if they couple up. But AJ went with the safe choice and went with Marie, who I thought she had a good connection with, but I didn't think there was any like sort of like strong physical chemistry between them. And after doing that choice is when I thought, huh, I guess AJ is really not trying to mess up her original partnership with her partner Brittany. Like she wants to grow but not, face temptation. Because what happens in this show in particular is, sometimes people choose temptation, choose somebody that they think, ah, I could get with this person instead of my original partner. And here AJ didn't, which was a big surprise. And then Haley and Megan had a really good connection. Megan was having a really tough time in the first couple of days and did not want to do this with her partner Dana. Like she was feeling uncomfortable. But finally, she connected with Haley and they chose each other. And that was really sweet and cute. And I was like, okay. Then there was Pilar and Kyle. Pilar was in this triangle between um, partners Kyle and Bridget, who both liked Pilar. And Bridget, kind of in this weird move, pushed Pilar to stay and be with Kyle, her partner, which um, was interesting. Like to me, it felt like, okay, you really want to see like if Kyle um, wants to be with you or wants to be with somebody else. And it felt like a good match between the two of them. And then there was Mel and Dana. Mel was another one who actually had multiple connections, right? She connected really well with Dana and really well with AJ's partner, Brittany. And I thought at first that she was gonna go with Brittany because that um, it felt it felt better match in terms of like it was very I don't know how to put it, but like I felt like Brittany was a softer partner for Mel than Dana. Like Dana is very hard, aggressive, like very about what she wants, very pushy. I mean, even before Mel chose her, Dana was coming on strong to Mel, being like, "Why you doing this? Why you?" And I felt like maybe for Mel it would be nicer to have, someone who will be more um just not as demanding, right? But Mel chose Dana, and I think she chose Dana also because of the physical chemistry. Like here was a difference where AJ, right, went against her choice of like physical chemistry, and here Mel like leaned forward into that. I think she was really attracted to Dana physically, and like Dana felt a little bit more like the dangerous choice, like temptation, and so Mel chose her. And finally, unfortunately, Ashley and Bridget chose each other. They also like had a kind of vibe in the end. Um, and that left two people who didn't choose each other, Marita and Brittany, but who became really good friends in the process during their trial marriage. The trial marriages were very interesting. There was lots of like um, not lots of drama, but there was drama, right? There was some drama where Mel and Dana were definitely feeling each other and like were leaning in 100% into the relationship. They felt like they were going to like they were falling in love, not they were going to. They're falling in love and they're gonna end up with each other by the end of this experiment. That's how it felt. And because of that bond, it really pissed off Megan, who was Dana's partner, and so Megan leaned in completely with Haley, and that relationship also felt really beautiful and genuine, and like, oh, they're gonna go end up with each other by the end of this. Whereas the other couples, um, Ashley and Bridget were just really good friends, it felt like, and so was Marita and Brittany. Um, and in terms of Kyle and Pilar, there was definitely some like vibes. They were vibing with each other. But then there was this incident, and it was really weird because we never got real clarity on this. They went to a club, they were drunk, and Pilar kissed Kyle and they made out. And then Kyle felt bad about it because Kyle had expressed um, that her boundary was like not to do anything physical in that way, like kissing, I guess, and otherwise. Um, and it just begs the question about the purpose of this show because there were a couple of the people on the show who said like the point of this is for them to like go with a partner that will challenge them but not necessarily like go past a certain boundary. um and it just makes me wonder, like, is that the point? Or is the point to make sure that you're really in the right partnership? And if that is the point, then in your trial marriage, should you not do everything and anything that you're feeling and that you want to do to make sure that that's the case? I don't know. This show is very confusing to me, to be honest. Again, I think it's toxic and I don't like this type of thing. At the same time, like if the whole point is to be certain beyond a measure of a doubt, right? That you are with the right person and that you want to go forward with this person, hopefully in matrimony, then don't you want to, like, I don't know, go all the way with whoever, if you're feeling this person that you're with in your first trial marriage, like, do all the things you want to do. It's weird because, certain couples did, like I mentioned before, Haley and Megan, and Dana and Mel, even though Dana and Mel played around a lot and like, they lied to their partners and to others that nothing physical happened, which I thought was dumb. Because, hello, you're being filmed. People are going to watch this afterwards. Like, they're going to find out. Like, what were you thinking? Whatever. Um, and to me, I was like, well, if that's, it seems like the point of this show, right? Just be honest about it. Just be honest about it. At the same time, I understand if you went in with your partner and said, like, hey, these are my clear boundaries. I'm not cool with either of us going past these boundaries. Cool, okay, yes, and you both agree on that. I can get that. But yeah, it just feels like what are we doing this for? What are you doing this for? What do you want out of this ultimately? Um, yeah, and after that, they had really good conversations going back to Kyle and Pilar, and they returned back to some sort of friendship with clear boundaries. And I was like, whatever works for you, you know? Um, and at the end of the trial marriages, the first ones, they went back to their original partners. And it seemed like, AJ and Brittany, I know a lot of people, there's speculation that they went in to like hype up Brittany's business. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. Um, and that they weren't there to actually participate in this, but like they were there, just to like um, make themselves popular or whatever. I'm not mad at it personally. And I think that they both learn lots of things, especially I think Brittany with Marita. I think she learned some things for sure in her trial marriage that she can bring back to her original partnership with AJ. Uh, I loved their love and I was very happy, you know. Ultimately, I was rooting for them. Um, Ashley and Marita, I think, are totally mismatched. Um, and it's very confusing to me because they both have different love languages, and it's clear like Ashley is trying to fulfill Marita's love language, but it's never enough. And there's a blockage there. And I'm like, if there's a blockage, Ashley, like, let it go. Move on. Like, it's obvious that y'all aren't like matched in certain area. And so it felt very like, and I get it, when you get comfortable with somebody, you get scared of like, you know, looking for something else. But then, like with Ashley and Bridget, right? Ashley opened up a lot with Bridget, so I was just like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work, friends. Dana and Megan, you see, whereas Dana and Mel in their trial marriage lied to their partners and everybody else about the extent of their physical um, explorations of each other, Megan and Haley were honest with their partners. And I gave them big kudos for that because I think honesty is the best policy as well as great communication. Like those things should like should be part like they should be the norm, okay, in relationships, whether it's romantic or otherwise, in my mind. Um, and I think Haley and Pilar managed it well, like in terms of like communicating past through that. Megan and Dana were very toxic, but they were toxic because Dana was being manipulative and almost trying to like, take um she was trying to act as if her connection with Mel and the boundaries that she crossed weren't as significant and as, important as what Megan did with Haley, which was total BS. Like I did not like that at all. I think Dana, um, at least in what was shown in the show, exhibited a lot of manipulative and gaslighting tendencies, which I was not a fan of. It was also super weird how Megan, like, very quickly like went from being very antagonistic towards Dana because of what had happened before to, um like bowing down to her every whim and being like, okay, I'm gonna shut down Haley. I'm gonna tell her she needs to apologize to you. That felt wild to me, and didn't make any sense. I was like, Megan, what are you doing? And it showed to me that Megan has problems, like in terms of maturity. um, because it wasn't a mature response in any way, shape, or form, especially after the great 3 weeks that she had with Haley and the support she had. Um, it was weird. And I think had Dana not been so, locked in terms of staying with her original partner with Megan, Megan and Haley, I think, may have started a new partnership outside of this. I feel the same way about Mel and Dana. It was very weird because Dana seemed to be so into Mel, like hardcore. Like they both seemed to be into each other so much. But Mel was still trying to be with Dana, it felt like, even till the very end of the show. Whereas Dana was like, nah, nah, I'm good. We can be friends though, but I'm with like I had my fun and now I'm with my original girl, my first love, Megan. Um, yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I don't think Dana is right or good for Mel. Personally, I think um, Mel has a lot of issues to deal with, and I think she would benefit for sure. Seeing somebody, talking to somebody about her things, as well as like it felt sad during her uh, trial with her original partner Marie, like it just felt like there was no more spark, there was no more love, like she was not in it. And it was weird to me at the end, when they go into engagements. First, there was a conversation between Mel and Dana, and it felt like Mel was trying one more time to see if Dana would choose her, and Dana chose Megan and made that clear. And after that, Dana asked Mel what she was gonna do, and she was like, "Yeah, I have a ring for Marie." And I was just like, "Why are you getting engaged to Marie when it doesn't even seem like you love her like that?" Like, and she said, "Oh, I'm doing it because that's what Marie wants." And I was just like, "Oh, this is terrible. This is all wrong. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?" It made me sad for Marie and for Mel, to be honest. Um, in the end, all couples got engaged except for Marita and Ashley. And that was another one that was really weird. It was weird that Marita got so hurt by Ashley saying, like, we're not ready. This is not right. We shouldn't get married. Um, and because it was so obvious that they shouldn't get married, that they weren't in the right place. Um, but Marita wanted that, and I was like, why would you want to get engaged when you're clearly like Ashley's not giving you what you need, and it's clear that y'all are not vibing well. But comfort sometimes clouds everything. Um, And at the reunion, a lot of people said that the reunion was terrible in terms of like they were left with more questions than answers and things like that. And I have to say, they didn't really, I agree, like there wasn't enough like digging in terms of like what happened between everybody. There was a lot of kumbaya, there was a lot of like, oh no, we're all good. And then there was this weird argument between Marita and Ashley where I was like, I think Marita went too far. Um, it could be understood that she was hurt and that things happened between her and Ashley, but to me it was clear that both of them did things that were not cool to each other and that hurt each other. But you don't have to be nasty about it. She was like, I hate you. Um, she screamed that and I was just like, no, there's no need to do that. Don't do that. Um, And then Marie also, went into like there was a spat between Marie and AJ and Brittany, which I felt was also unnecessary. Like I think Marie was valid in terms of feeling like she was robbed because AJ during their trial marriage saw Brittany, and AJ told Marie about that, and I think I understand where Marie is coming from because she felt like, oh, okay, so you're still into your partner, but I feel like you should understand like hey if they do that like maybe it has nothing to do with you and they just want to make sure that their partner is okay and they're still like in this and I think Murray totally was like, okay, Adrian's not into me. And maybe that was true, but maybe it wasn't. I just feel like it was a missed opportunity for her to like, I don't know, lean into it and just forget about it. But I could get how she felt rejected in every sense, like watching the show back, rejected by AJ and rejected by her partner, um, Mel. And that's that's painful. That's sad, you know? Um, that all the other couples, seem to be doing fine. Dana acted as if she had grown and matured and she, like, didn't feel good about what she saw. I hope that that was genuine. It didn't feel genuine. It felt strategic and calculated. And Megan was, giving her props like, no, honey, no, no, you've really changed and really grown, everything. It just feels like, again, this like, mm, Megan is like under the spell of Dana, you know? I really do hope that Dana has matured and that she becomes like a better person and less manipulative, but time will tell. Um, Bridget and Kyle, I feel like were made for each other, so I was like, oh, you know, no real drama like for them, other than Bridget made a big deal during their trial marriage of like Kyle kissing Pilar, which I thought again was weird. Especially like, what is the point of this, right? And I'm pretty sure if Bridget had been with AJ, I think there would have been some physical intimacy that would have happened between them. So I don't know. Weird, weird, weird. What are y'all's thoughts? Tell me in the comments below. This was definitely an interesting and entertaining season, and I can't wait to watch more seasons in the future. Thank you so much for watching this, for listening to my thoughts. And I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.
Mhm.